Hello, this is part 6. We previously, well, this should be, hopefully if I do it in time, the second part to jump. What we did in part 5, and this is why this video has come out so quick after part 5, is we've got a more optimized version of jump in this video. Hopefully it won't be as long as nearly 25 minutes the last video, so I know that can drag on a little bit, so I do apologize. And today we are going to optimize our jump within our 2D platformer, just to simplify it, make things easier to understand as we go through. So let's have a look at our script. So as you can see, everything is an update. Apart from our coroutine, our enumerator, and I'm not going to go for it again because it would just take up more time. But we essentially bunging everything in void update, as good as it is, can slow up systems, and it's just not very modular. And we could probably do a little bit better practice, better industry standards of what we need to do. So what we're going to do first is create a brand new method, and what we can do is just go down here, go void movement, because this is what essentially everything in here is to do with our movement. So I'm going to bung everything you see here into movement. So let me so what we're going to do, take all that, Control or Command X. That takes that all away, and then Command V into movement. Okay, so how do we get movement working? So all we need to do is in update, type movement, close brackets, there we go, and semicolon, and that update will automatically make void movement work every 60 frames within our game. Okay, so there's other things that we can do with this. We can really break this down and make it work for us a lot easier. So what can we do? What can we do to break this down and make this easier? So we're going to leave. Okay, let's start from the start, shall we? Let's just take all of this out, and I'm just going to press backspace, get rid of it. So if you prefer, you can watch both videos, and if you understand the first one but it's longer, go with what you understand. That is probably the best process, and as you're learning games development, games design, best thing you can do. If the script is longer but you understand it, don't worry about this. If you watch this and you're like, what is he doing? It's gone crazy, it's gone mad. Go for it. But if you feel like a bit of a challenge, you want to kind of break things down to make things a bit easier for yourself with a bit of shorter code, this is what we're going to do right now. It's not loads shorter, but it's going to make things a lot clearer for us. Okay, so what we're going to do is start off with what we started with before. As you can see, we haven't got grounded anymore, so let's get rid of grounded. We don't need this variable, so I'm going to get rid of that. Get rid of the serialized field as well, because we just don't need it. And there we go. Oh, what's happened there? Oh, my bad. There we go. Cool. So what we're going to do in movement, so everything's now going to happen within our movement. And I'm going to put in, what can we write in? So we'll do what we did first with the other jump and get our input put in. So this is quite similar, or pretty much exactly the same as what we did before. So input, get button down, and through the project settings, we are going to call up jump. There we go, comes up automatically. And again, we're going to say and grounded is true. So if we're on the ground, this will allow us to jump. This is the main mechanism for allowing us to jump. So then we can just write jump there. It's a bit of pseudocode allowing us to jump. So we need to make sure, as you just saw, I deleted the is grounded or grounded variable underscore grounded variable. And this is because we're going to put a private, but not private, just a bool method underneath our movement. Okay, and we're going to call this is grounded. So if we type in is grounded here, whoa, what was that? I don't know where that came from. If we type in is grounded, there we go. At the moment, that will error simply because we haven't created that bool method yet. So there we go, and then we can say equals true. And before it has a complete go at us, let's just write in under here our bool is grounded. There we go. So there we go. So what we're doing here is breaking everything down. We have our update up here, which is given our movement. We then have our void movement. We then have a separate thing saying what grounded is. We then have a separate thing for resetting our jump. So we're just breaking things up and making it easier to understand. As I said, the script is a little less, but what we're doing essentially is breaking up things into separate methods. And overall, it makes the whole thing a little bit shorter and a little bit easier, or maybe a little bit easier to understand. So after this, with this if statement, we can say if we get button down the jump function from project settings, we've got to make sure is grounded is equal to true. So once we've done that, like we did before, we need to make sure that we're actually jumping. So let's do a debug.log, and we can say, just jumping, or jump. There we go. There we go. That'll do. Debug.log jump. That's fine. We then have to do the jump itself. So we're going to grab that rigid, not jump reset. We're going to grab that rigid body again. There we go. Rigid body.velocity, which will then equal a new position for a vector 2. So new vector 2. And then again, we're going to say underscore rigid body.velocity.x. I can't spell velocity. There it is, .x. We don't need the space there. We then can say, so the x, the y, we can bring back our jump height for that. That doesn't change. Okay, so we're going to have a message telling us we're going to jump. Then the rigid body velocity is a new position for our vector 2. We're just stating that our rigid body is the velocity of x. So whatever our position of our rigid body is, it's going to go with x. And then jump height is going to dictate the height of our jump, which is 5f, as we've stated up in the variable up in the top. We then can have a look at this is grounded bool, which we've created here. And we can say, and this is where our raycast is going to go. So it breaks things down nice and easy, actually. So when you're thinking about things, you're thinking, oh, maybe I should have done this in the first video, but there we go. Doesn't matter. So again, we're going to call our raycast hit info to not confuse matters. We then can say equals physics 2D, I think. Yep. Dot raycast. I'm just going from what we wrote before, really, which is then our transform dot position vector 2 dot down, and then we put 2f, didn't we? So this is our raycast. So what we're saying here, we're saying our raycast hit 2D, so we're going to send out our raycast hit, and that's going to be called hit info. What it's going to do, the physics.raycast is going to send out a signal from our position, so transform.position. It's going to send that signal downwards, so it's going to bring us back down on a vector 2.down, and the length of that signal is going to be 2f. Because before I had some errors right at the end of my videos where I was like, why am I not jumping? And then I just didn't have my raycast signal long enough. So what I've done now is doubled that number from 1f to 2f. And the last thing we need to do is what we spoke about in our last video, where we created a separate ground layer. So our raycast can only see our ground collider and nothing else. Otherwise, if we don't put this, we're going to have the same problem that we had in part 5. So again, we're going to add the bit shift. So we go 1, arrow, arrow, 8, semicolon. Lovely. And that should sort us out for that. Then we need to state what hit info is going to actually collate for us and what it's going to do and how it's going to reset our jump. So if hit info dot collider is not hitting anything, we can say return is true, and then we can say just under that return false, and let's just add a if statement for this. So if jump reset, there it is equal to false. Lovely, cool, that should work. That should sort us out. Okay, so raycast at Unity2D physics 1. If our hit info hits a collider at null, this will begin to do our return yield, or yield return, and reset our reset jump. Okay, but we had the problem before where we could jump once and the code was moving so quickly at 60 frames per second, we had to wait a fraction of 0.1 of an F, hence why we did the coroutine. So what we're going to do with this is looking quite nice. What I might do just at the top here, just before yield return, let's just say jump reset equals true, because there was a bit of lag with that. So let's just make sure it definitely sets the reset, waits for 0.1 F, and then we don't need to reset because we're ready to jump again. Cool, so let's save this. Let's go back to here. Let's do some compiles. Done. Jump height of 5. This is looking good. Let's press play. Hopefully. Yeah, there we go. And we've even got the debug out there as well every time we jump. There we go. Fantastic. I may have to. Oh, a bit of lag there on the. Oh, that's interesting. Poor old Mac's having a bad time. Cool. Probably all the games are making. There we go, sorted itself out. So at the moment, yeah, I'm not going to make that collider. There we go. See you later, buddy. Cool. That jump is working. So compare both videos, see what you prefer. If you understood that method or that way of scripting our jump a lot easier to do, go for it. Absolutely fantastic. As again, we've just broken things down. Update only has movement in it. We've then got void movement that's stating our movement. We then have ball is grounded, which is stating when we are grounded and sending that raycast signal. We then have our coroutine of flipping everything around again. Oh, hang on a minute. I've just realised our code. How is that working? I swear I haven't put the coroutine in. That's interesting. How is that working? How is that working without a coroutine? That is very interesting. So if I play, okay, we've got a bit of lag. Okay, it might be because I haven't actually put the coroutine in. So if we go to movement under here, let's just start that coroutine because it's not even there. Yeah, jump reset isn't even in, but it's working. But it's laggy, so let's see if this sorts out the issue. Let's quickly save that, go back into our game, let it compile. Oh, now we have an issue. I'm not worried about that. That's fine. There we go. Oh yeah, there we go. Now the coroutine's in there. We haven't got any kind of lag at all. Fantastic. Still probably going to trip up on there though. Oh, lovely. Cool. And it's one of my colliders as well. Okay, thank you guys. Have a look at both videos, as I said. See what you think about the codes working out for you. And in the next video, we'll hopefully sort these colliders out and we'll add a speed variable as well. Cool. See you later.